I went on a date, but then he kept texting, and finally he was like on his phone every 2 minutes. So I said, listen, I'm sorry, did something come up? Do you have to be somewhere? And I shit you not, he said, oh, sorry, it's just that, well, I work for a big celebrity musician and I can't tell you who she is. I'll just say that she's the queen of ska.
Of ska?
Yes.
What?
I said, I'm sorry, am I
on.
getting
Okay.
The queen of
the
ska?
queen of ska?
Now, I'm a ska music listener.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the
Really?
the queen of ska
Yeah,
is.
no, I'm very confused by that also. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Samantha Hale. She's a comedian. We talked about her stand-up comedy show, Horror Nerd. We talked about a bunch of old-school horror movies and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's get into it.
I literally
Yeah.
on the way over here was like, Samantha, you need to stop falling asleep to 2020. Like, this is not healthy. This is not good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I can fall asleep to like the craziest like murder
Oh, yeah.
documentary or something.
Like the
Yeah.
most horrific thing you can
Yeah, like the,
Absolutely.
like the most insane thing, and like I can just be like, oh, I'm so tired.
Out. I know.
Yeah, and
I
then
know.
like, yeah, I don't know.
I love that, though.
I don't understand it. It's bizarre.
Okay, we are rolling, Zach. Do
Cool.
Intro one first, and then go from there.
Cool.
Whenever you are ready.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's like speed dating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a comedian. I am from LA originally. I am a horror nerd. That is literally the name of my show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I run a show at the Hollywood Improv called Horror Nerd, and it's a scary movie themed stand-up show.
That's sick.
Yeah, yeah. So I basically spend all my days just thinking about, what can I talk about Michael Myers now? You know what I mean? It's not like Disney and horror. That's what I do. I'm so weird. But I don't think I'm the only one.
Yeah, definitely not. So how long have you been doing stand-up for?
A long time. It's, about 15 years,
Nice.
which I think is a long time, but in stand-up, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, all the overnight success stories. You're like, oh yeah, she just came out of nowhere. No, she's been working the road for 20 years.
Yeah. How long have you been like incorporating like your love for horror into stand-up?
So we've been running the show about 2.5 years,
Sick.
which is crazy. It went by so fast.
Right.
But the idea came from, so in the pandemic, we were all losing our minds, right? We're all
Yeah.
bored as shit. We can curse in here, right?
Yeah,
Imagine.
100%,
Okay,
yeah.
I fucking thought so. We were just bored, right? We had nothing to do. So I just thought, well, let me just go make videos in front of all these houses where they filmed horror films, like the Michael Myers house, the Nancy's house from Nightmare on Elm Street, like Child's Play 2. All those houses, a lot of them are in Pasadena.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
That's
like
sick.
Murder House from American Horror Story. That big, beautiful house is like, it's just right off the 10.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I would just like kind of roast the killer or roast a character from that movie in front of the actual house.
Yeah.
And it kind of became this fun thing when people would message me, hey, well, which house are you going to next?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how the idea came about.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's like have you been to any like horror like houses like outside of California?
Like mazes or like actual haunted houses? Because the answer
no,
is yes to both.
Well, I mean more like locations for movies.
Well, when we were in New Orleans, we definitely went to the Buckner Mansion, which is, Coven, American Horror Story Coven. That was that big, beautiful mansion.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's stunning. But yeah, we actually did Horror Nerd Halloween night last year in New
that's
Orleans.
sick.
It's pretty dope.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I've been to the Stanley, which is where Stephen King wrote The Shining.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
the real Overlook Hotel, basically.
Yeah, I've heard about that place. That would be really cool to go to.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like you're walking into, I think it's like 1909 or something it was
Yeah.
built. And I did the ghost tour and all that stuff, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is that place considered haunted at all? Or no?
Yeah.
It is?
Definitely. There's a little like booklet in the gift store that's just all the staff stories of different hauntings. Yeah. And the scariest thing is that they charge twice as much for the haunted rooms. Like that's the
that's
horrifying
so
part.
shitty.
Yeah, some of them are like $400 a night or something
Dude.
crazy. I'm like, I like ghosts, but not
Your
that
average
much.
hotel in LA. Like,
I know. Basically.
The ghost
Yeah.
better be like helping you unpack for that
Yeah,
much
yeah.
room.
For
One
real.
of them does actually. Apparently, one of them was one of like the maids, and there have been stories of people leaving their room, coming back, and their shoes and their like clothes would be out of their bag and like neatly folded on the
oh
bed.
my gosh.
There's also a story about a cowboy, like this creepy, because he has a cowboy hat and he's like kind of dressed in, I don't know, more Western attire. But apparently a lot of like women will see him at the foot of the bed when they wake up.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, is he hot though? Because
He's just watching.
Yeah,
He's
just
like-
watching. Yeah, no, they definitely have some stories in there. And apparently Stephen King had like such insane nightmares when he was there that he woke up in the middle of the night after having like a night terror and wrote
Yeah.
this basically the whole story in like
Yeah.
very quickly. Yeah.
That's
You're
really.
sure it wasn't cocaine?
Yeah, no. He's
Could've-
just withdrawing. He's like, I should have brought more coke with me to this place.
Right?
Like-
Those are more the West Hollywood ghosts. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I just wonder what his nightmares have to be so much scarier than like a regular
Right?
nightmare.
Or maybe they're just normal to him. Like we were
Yeah.
just saying how we fall asleep to true crime.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like, oh, a demon. Oh, good night.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like that would make sense for him.
Dreaming
Yeah.
of his tax accountant or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
That's
funny.
probably horror. He's
Yeah,
probably
I feel
more.
like some of like the best like stories come from just like nightmares or like night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure like Terminator 2 was because of someone had the guy had a fever dream.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Like an apocalyptic fever dream?
yeah,
But
yeah.
machines taking over?
And that's how he woke up. Yeah.
That fever dream made him millions of dollars.
yeah, yeah.
I
This is
would
me
like one of
fact-checking.
those.
Yeah, no, I'm like almost positive that that's true.
Yeah, so here's
And
sorry, almost. So here's my claim to fame on that. T2, which is I think one of the only better sequels ever,
yeah, it's
right?
such a good sequel.
So good. Like Aliens and
Yeah.
T2, I would say are
Yeah.
and both Cameron, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Woodland Hills, so I'm not far from Northridge. So like my mall growing up was the mall that
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Edward
hell
Furlong
yeah.
went to. Yeah. And that epic, like, you know, the in the LA River, the chase scene with the truck, I drive past it all the time.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. I grew up here.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I grew like when I was a little kid, like that was like the only Terminator 2 is rated R, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
that was-
Terminator 1 was where he had the fever dream about it.
Okay, yeah.
But it was right.
Still,
Well,
same.
still, the concept of the
Yeah, and it
And
Terminator.
it was a
at
horror
all.
movie first. That's how
Yeah,
he developed
yeah.
it first, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah, I should have phrased it as Terminator, like the whole
Yeah.
like world and franchise. But yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Terminator 2 was like the first like rated R movie I was allowed to watch as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I grew up like I came
Yeah.
out of the womb straight into rated R.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
my
I
dad
was
didn't
not
give a shit.
allowed to do that at all.
Yeah, no. My first like scary movie that messed me up for 6 years. My dad let
Yeah.
me watch it when I was about 8.
Mhm.
Thanks, Dad. It was great. Like I had extreme night terrors
Yeah.
for probably a good 6 years. And I kept trying to rewatch it as I got a little bit older and I kept
Yeah.
having more nightmares. And then maybe when I got to like 12 or something, I rewatched it again.
Yeah.
And it was just like years of anger of just like, you clown, I would kick your ass if I met you. You wouldn't want to f- with me, Pennywise. Like I was irate. And now I love it. Now I can watch it. I can fall asleep to it now.
Yeah.
But when you think about some of the things that Tim Curry did when you're a little kid watching that, horrifying.
Yeah, super scary.
Horrifying. And I did get the opportunity. I waited tables for a long time. As in LA, as you do, you wait
Yeah,
tables when
yeah.
you're pursuing your art. But one day Tim Curry came in.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw him, he was about to leave, I like ran so I could hold the door open for him so that I
Yeah.
could talk to him. And I don't remember what I said. I was just like, oh my God, you're amazing. And you fucking ruined my childhood with Pennywise. He said, oh, thank you. Like, it was great. It was great. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think like one of the first like horror movie things that one of the first horror movies I saw as a kid, I guess, that like really like scared me for some reason. Dude, it was like Phantasm 2 for some reason.
Yeah. That's
I don't
a
know,
good
and that's
one.
it's not even as good as the first one.
I
And, like,
know.
but there was like it was just this gnarly scene. It wasn't even like super scary. It was just more like super graphic. It was like the scene with the chainsaw and he they like hit the guy in the nuts with it. Like it was.
Your balls cried.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, chainsaws. I've seen too many Texas chainsaws to ever hold an actual chainsaw. Like I don't think I can do it.
think I've ever held a chainsaw either.
No, I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah, no, I feel like I would just cut something off on accident. Like I'm not.
I totally would.
Yeah.
I was just reading something the other day about how they used like a metal leg plate on his leg. Remember the scene at the end where he kind of goes crazy and cuts himself? Apparently, he didn't cut himself, but the pressure and the heat from this metal plate, like it really fucked up his leg pretty bad.
Oh.
So when you see him screaming at the end of that movie, that was real. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. I remember I've always been sort of just, I don't really like using like power tools in general. Like when so you know, everyone's like, oh, I like there's always like a woodshop teacher that has like a couple like fingers missing or something, you know?
Yeah.
Well, like at my school, one of the gym teachers was like the woodshop teacher, and it was like it was one of my best friends was in there. He was like, "Oh, can you help me with this?" to the teacher, and he's like helping him cut this thing, and he still had his wedding ring on.
Yeah.
And like it ended up like cutting off like 3 of his fingers and it was like super.
No.
Yeah, I remember seeing.
Oh my goodness.
Like it was like. He just like ran out of the room or whatever, and I remember someone showing me like a Razor video.
Wait, you were in the class when this
No,
happened?
I wasn't in the class, but I remember someone showing me. Someone took like their Motorola Razor because the fingers were still there, and like filmed it, and I was like, "That's so fucked up."
No.
And they put it on like break.com for
No, that wasn't even a thing yet. But like I remember seeing that, and I was like, "That's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen."
Oh no. Yeah. I don't really do like body horror. That's not my genre.
Yeah.
I don't need to see like Saw. I understand the appeal.
Yeah.
That's great. But like I don't want to see people sawing off their own leg. And,
yeah, you shouldn't go back on Twitter then right now because it's pretty bad.
Really?
Like, you'll see people just actually die. Like out of you'll see one of the most fucked up things you've ever seen on accident.
Wow.
Yeah. That's like what I've been told, and that's what I've noticed as well.
Okay, well, Twitter is desperate for attention. Apparently.
Yeah.
There's no content moderation anymore. It's a free for all. It's pretty bad.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, like you can do something that's not even bad and get flagged for it.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time though, Instagram's like sort of like going pretty wild too right now. Like I've been seeing like tons of like car crash videos and stuff where it's like clearly like someone where it'll be like, oh, everyone survived, and it's like no one survived that. Like at all.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like super but yeah.
No. Did you remember when you had to take driving school? Did you ever have to watch Red Asphalt?
No.
Oh
my
God.
God.
Then maybe that. Oh my gosh.
I never actually took like driver's ed or like any of those class or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you still get your license?
Yeah. No, I got it like later. I just got I got my license like way later in life.
Oh, well, good for you. You didn't have to watch Red Asphalt. It's basically just car crashes, like drunk people. It's just basically like they're trying to scare you. Mm-hmm. And they call it Red Asphalt because they literally show you all these people covered in blood, like real accident victims. Yeah, it scared the crap out of you.
That's gnarly.
I'm like, dude, I'm paying for this?
Like the closest thing that like anything to that, there was like this anti-bullying video we had to watch in school.
Really?
And there was this they were like bullying this kid on the playground, and then at the end of it, like he gets hit by a car because they like push him off the playground.
Oh my God.
And I forgot what it's called, dude. Look up like anti-bullying kid hit by car movie. It's like something I forgot. It's like they show it in schools, and it's super insane. I remember I want to rewatch it again actually.
Oh my God!
Anti-bullying video where kid gets hit by a car. Broken toy.
I think that's it.
Ugh.
I'm gonna scrub through this real quick just to see if this is the one that.
Wow,
happened.
I mean that's good that they're taking a stand against bullying, but oh my God,
holy hell.
Yeah, I think it is Broken Toy. Yeah.
We will link to this in the comments.
Yeah,
everyone.
it's like super gnarly. Also, there was actually like this movie. There was like this anti like suicide movie that we had to watch in school,
Wow.
where it was like Charlie Sheen is like playing this.
Was he the guy for that? Was he really the guy for
Dude,
that?
he was super popular at this point. And I mean, he's still, I mean, not really anymore, but like it was when he was really young.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think it's his.
Was it a movie?
Yeah, I think it's a TV movie or something.
Silence of the Hearts.
Yeah, where like someone that's like driving, like they decide they're gonna kill themselves. I think it's his friend, and he like drives off a cliff, but like the last second he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, but he already drove off.
Oh,
And then like,
God.
and then it's this whole thing like this, with like the dealing with the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. It was a wild movie for us to have to watch in school.
Yeah,
That's
this
horrifying.
seems wild.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, I'd rather fall asleep to Silence of the Lambs, personally.
Also, for some reason, my school had Ferris Bueller's Day Off on a loop on one of the channels on the TV.
Really?
Yeah, because our principal sort of looked like the principal in Ferris Bueller.
They actually filmed that at my high school.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Look at that. El Camino. What?
That's so cool.
Yeah. I went to a good school.
No, that's
It was
sick.
cool. I mean, growing up in LA, you just kind of used to that. Yeah.
I used to live by like I forgot it was, so my house was like my old house that I was living in. It was right next to the high school from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, really?
And
Nice.
like my old house was like when it was older was in the movie, like in the background.
Oh,
like
wow.
in like a couple scenes. It was really weird. I was just watching it one day and I was like, that looks like
Look
the
that-
house that I'm in right now.
Did that creep you out, or was it like the coolest thing ever?
No, it was pretty cool. I mean,
Oh.
but yeah.
Huh.
I feel like that's a very specific occurrence that's only happened to like a handful of people. Has that happened to you?
No, my house has not even been in any porn films that I know of.
I mean, it happened to me once when I was living in Orange County, and it was for 98 Day Fiancé, not even a movie. So
Yeah.
Oh, the show.
The
Oh,
show,
I was like,
yeah.
what is
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
no. Mm-mm.
So like what movie like really made you like horror?
Halloween.
Halloween?
Yeah, the OG, the original. Yeah, I'm getting an applause break.
Fuck
There's
yeah.
just something about that movie that just the whole atmosphere is just such a vibe. I love the way I love Pasadena, the way it's shot. It looks like it could be anywhere. Of course it's Haddonfield, but
Yeah.
just even the way that like the trees are turning and there's wind and the leaves are falling and all the pumpkins are out. I just love Halloween itself.
Yeah.
It's very like nostalgic for me.
What did you think of like the newer iterations of Halloween, like the camera?
I actually liked them.
Yeah, like because I
Yeah.
think of like Danny McBride like wrote some of them, didn't he?
he
Yeah.
was one of the EPs,
Or producers or something?
Him and David Allen Green were the main producers. I don't think he wrote them. I think he just contributed story bits to them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I actually liked those ones a lot.
I did too.
Yeah.
And I like that they were kind of like, okay, just pretend that all the other ones didn't happen.
Yeah,
And we're just
yeah,
going
yeah.
straight to what was it, 2018?
Yeah.
But I mean, I love that they just made Laurie this kind of like badass,
Yeah.
and I even like how they started in the other ones exploring the psychological aftermath of it, with Laurie
Yeah.
and Allison, the granddaughter. Like, I thought it was really interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I was like really surprised by it because when I went and saw it, I was like, this is either gonna not be good or it's gonna be really good. I was like, I like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see? Do you like with The Exorcist?
Oh,
at all?
totally. Why did I feel like we were going to go there next?
Yeah. Because like I think David Allen didn't he?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
He
was
did.
bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't like I was like, oh, they're doing The Exorcist. Like, it's probably gonna be good too. And I wasn't stoked on The Exorcist as much as I was on their Halloween.
I don't
Like,
think anybody was.
They
Yeah.
were so upset. The studio, they canned the other because it was supposed to be another 3 movies, and they
Yeah.
and they canceled the other 2 because of how poorly that first one did.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
not what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, we all had such insane high expectations that it was going to
Yeah.
be really hard to make us happy.
Yeah.
But they
definitely.
they even had the cameo with Linda Blair. They had Ellen Bernstein back. Like, they had the
Yeah.
ability to make it work. And it
Yeah.
just didn't. I was actually supposed to. So they did this screening, like a free screening. Actually, I think Midsummer Scream, who I freaking love, they did like some sort of, hey, get free passes for this new screening of the new Exorcist. I got there, I don't know, maybe like 40 minutes early, and I was at the back of. There were so many people trying to. I couldn't even get in. So we wound up just going to see The Nun 2 instead, which ultimately was a better choice. Shockingly. But yeah, and then once I started reading the reviews of how like. Or not even the reviews, just listening to other horror fans saying I hated it. Yeah. I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll just wait until it comes out.
When we went to shoot at Universal Horror Nights, one of the mazes they offered us to go shoot in was the Exorcist maze, and I was like, no, we don't want to do that one.
That was the night I went and saw it. Actually, it was right after that.
After we did that.
Yeah. I went by myself like right after that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see The Exorcist.
Well, now you know why I said no to that maze.
Yeah, it was just.
Have we heard anything about the new Omen? Do we like it? Has anyone heard if it's good or not?
It is.
It's good?
It's not just good. It is
really
incredible.
Okay, because I'm having movie night on Thursday, and I was deciding between that or Immaculate.
Both amazing. I saw Immaculate too. That was not Immaculate too.
Are you psychic?
Yeah, I already saw the second one. It's good.
Dang. Fucking fancy.
Yeah, I saw Immaculate. It was fine. Oh,
if you had to pick, which one would I see?
I still haven't seen the new
both?
like the Omen.
I feel like they're both equally as good for different reasons, but I do think that Omen makes the original movie better because of how good it is.
Okay.
Because it's a
Got it.
But Immaculate is immaculate, quite honestly.
Dang. Okay, I can't decide.
No,
all right. Good. And they're both kind of almost have a similar, the religious. Catholic
there's a lot of
but...
like religious type like horror movies coming out right now.
I'm not Catholic, but I love Catholic horror. It's fascinating to me.
They sure know how to make a horror movie, dude. Like
yeah, they do. And if you don't see it, you feel guilty.
I mean, they're good at a lot of
they're good at a lot of
they're good at a couple different things.
Yeah.
And
none of which we want to mention.
None of which.
But like the horror movies are good.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like a mega Conjuring universe fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it.
Yeah, I definitely love The Conjuring.
We did so each month, every horror nerd has a specific theme, like a subgenre. And one night I was like, you know what? We're just doing The Conjuring universe. That's all we're doing. And so I hosted the show as Annabelle.
Oh, that's sick.
I was running around the Hollywood Improv dressed as Annabelle, and the looks that people were like, what the hell is wrong with her? I had a great time. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was great.
One of the first times I was at the Hollywood Improv, they had me I was doing like some stunts like on stage for this event, like for this comedy show, and like someone was throwing darts into me and stuff, and
dang.
And I go to the I wasn't doing stand up or anything at this time, so I'm just like in the bathroom at the Improv, like bleeding everywhere, and someone from like the other side, like the security comes in there, like, dude, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like they thought I was like a homeless person or something, just like in there. Like, and I was like, no, I was on the show. And they're like, oh, and then they like double checked because they didn't believe me. It was really weird.
I would have believed you. I've been like, yeah, that tracks. Sounds about right.
I mean, if it was, Samantha's here, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, is it Horror Nerd? Yeah, someone's covered in blood. Let them be. That would be like, those movies that take place in a maze, and so there's an actual killer in a haunted maze, and no one realizes he's actually. That would be like my show if there were. I just gave someone a bad idea.
No, I'm literally writing this down. This is a great. I found our next movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Oh, I love that. So like, what other like modern like horror movies do you like, or what kind of like?
Good question. I also really like the Insidious films.
I love really Insidious.
Good. I just really like James Wan. He's kind of awesome. And that house, I did a video in front of that house. Yeah. And I just basically roasted children and said, don't have them. They're haunted. But that house is beautiful. It looks just like it does in the movie.
Make sure
the one with Dalton where he when he sleeps, he goes off into... Oh yeah,
it's almost like this sort of like astral projection.
Yeah, astral projection. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love those. Those are great.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Patrick Wilson, you can't go wrong. He would definitely be a celebrity crush. For sure, Patrick. If you're listening, I have a boyfriend, but you can watch. Okay.
Okay, so I haven't seen all the Insidious movies.
What?
Did you just look up a list of them?
There's like
Yeah.
5 of them now?
Yeah,
There's 5.
dude, I've
Five.
only seen the first one and the last one, the one that just came out, The Red Door.
Oh, okay.
How have I missed fucking 3 movies?
Did
I
you
really-
understand the Red Door without
Yeah,
saying
Red
the other
Door, I
three?
feel
Yeah.
like...
That's so weird.
Oh, well, they did a good job on
Yeah,
that.
no, it was like really,
I mean,
it was
you know
super
that-
simple. Like,
Yeah. Kind of. You knew that something bad happened to Dalton in the first movie, so of
Yeah,
course he'd be
yeah.
messed up. But I really like the
maybe I have
fourth
seen
one.
the second one. I just don't remember if I have. Dude.
Second one, it's kind of like Halloween 2, where it's like an immediate continuation.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the second, third, or fourth.
Oh my god, actually the house that they filmed in for Insidious 2, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's up in the neighborhood. It's like this Victorian neighborhood. It's where the house from Thriller? Yeah, where Thriller was shot, and
Yeah.
the exterior for, oh my gosh, what's the witches show with Alyssa Milano and shit? Charmed.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, it's so big and cool looking. It's literally on its own island. There's like a moat around it. It's
That's
really
sick.
cool. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And that movie was good.
Another, like, I really like the, like, sort of astral projection stuff, like, in general. So, like, when I saw Doctor Sleep,
I love
I
Doctor
was
Sleep.
so stoked on that. That was such a good, like, sequel.
So
Yeah.
good.
Doctor Sleep was so good.
It was
And
like
you
this
see the director's
slow
cut
build.
also?
No, wait,
It-
maybe.
There is a director's
Maybe.
cut. I don't think it's, like, super different, but
longer.
I've seen both.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen that movie like a million times. It never gets old.
Yeah.
It's like this slow burn.
Yeah.
And then when you realize where it's going, the big grand finale, you're like, oh shit. It feels like the roller coaster just took
Yeah.
off. And another celebrity crush, definitely Rose the Hat. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's stunning in that movie.
She can psychic vampire me any day.
Anytime,
of the week.
anytime
Any day
you
of the
want.
week.
Yeah, I think Rebecca Ferguson. I think
Yes.
is it? What Rebecca? If you're also listening, you can watch and participate. Okay, fantastic.
But yeah, it just made me like The Shining, like, even more.
Obsessed,
Yeah.
obsessed with the.
Not that I
Shining.
didn't like it before, but, like, it made me like
It
it
just
way
like
more.
added more layers to it.
Oh, yeah, so much more to it.
Yeah,
It was super sick.
That movie would definitely be top 3 for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's great.
It's one of those, like, it just never gets old, and you kind of see something new every time.
Yeah.
I actually have a joke, and this is just a true story. This is how much I love The Shining. So my dad is the one who got me into all these films.
Yeah.
But he passed away when I was 22. And the last time that I saw him was in the funeral home. And I walk in, I'm completely distraught. And the guy comes up to me. He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Would you like to talk to your dad one more time?" And I was like, with what, a Ouija board? Like, what are you asking me? But he said, "I can take him out of cold storage." I was like, oh my God. So he takes him out and he just kind of leaves him in front of me. And this is the joke and the true story. I just looked down on him, and like his hair was really disheveled and his skin was
Yeah.
ice blue. And the only thing I actually said to him was, "Dad, you look like Jack Nicholson from The Shining." It's the last thing I said to him. And I think he would have laughed. I mean, my dad was a funny guy.
Yeah.
He kind of had a little bit of a Nicholson thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, don't we all?
don't we all? Right. We all just want to yell out a "Here's Johnny" every now and then. But another cool fact, though, speaking of Nicholson, so my great aunt was a script supervisor. Her name was Karen Wookie, and she worked on all. She was like Warren Beatty's right hand lady, which was super rad. But probably the coolest thing for me is that she was a script soup on The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh,
Have you
that's
seen that
cool.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Imagine she worked all in one, shoot. It was Jack Nicholson, Cher, Susan Sarandon, and Michelle Pfeiffer, who I'm also obsessed with.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, fuck, I wish I could have been born. Dang it. I wish I could have been there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I had a security guard for like this event that I was doing, and he used to be Jack Nicholson's security guard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was just telling me all these stories about
He's
Jack
seen
Nicholson.
some things, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just that's my only connection to Jack.
Oh, Jack. Oh my God. I bet you that guy could write a book. And
Yeah.
yeah, he did some crazy stuff, I feel like. I mean, when you're that famous and when you're Jack Nicholson, you can do that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. I
Oh
think.
my God. Yeah, he's so great, though.
Is there one story you could tell us that you remember about that?
I mean, not that I can legally tell.
Okay,
Oh,
fair. That's what I
dang it.
assumed.
Cut the cameras. Dang it. Yeah.
I had to sign an NDA.
Do those I bet. Do those expire anytime?
Oh man. So when's the so each horror nerd show you do like a different theme, you said?
Yeah, we've done vampires, slashers. Like our last one was Houses of Hell, where it was all like haunted houses or houses where like terrible things happen, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre House, House of a Thousand Corpses, all that. This month we're doing Telepathic Havoc.
Oh, that's
so it's
sick.
all like psychics and telekinesis. A lot of Stephen King, of course.
Okay.
Carrie, Firestarter, you know, Danny from The Shining, Lorraine Warren from The Conjuring, Scanners. Yeah. Matilda, that counts.
Yeah, that technically
That
counts.
counts too. Like
That technically counts.
yeah. So that's kind of fun. And sometimes the comics will perform as a character. Like actually, my friend Jackie Steele, who's hilarious, performed as Carrie one day. She walks up covered in blood. She's like, "Man, have I had a fucking day?" And just starts talking about it. It was great.
So all the comedians are supposed to do their set like based on that theme. Okay.
Yeah, I give them like a month in advance, and I'm like, "Hey, write a new set." I mean, all horror jokes count. They're great. But I say just have a few on the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I decorate the stage. Like, we go all out. We make it like a weird kid party.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's the idea because there's such a huge community. Like, the horror community is massive and it's huge. And these are people that would probably give the shirt off their back if you needed it. Like, they're just really nice, good people, which is crazy because we watch terrible things. But it's not real. You know, like, I have a harder time watching war films. Like Dunkirk, whatever that messed me up. That's extremely
it's
upsetting.
Super
Yeah, because
It's
these
really-
were real men, like in trenches getting. That's horrifying.
Yeah, like that literally happened.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah. So I mean, Freddy Krueger is fun, but he's not real.
Yeah, are there any horror movies that are like good? They're based on like a true story.
I mean,
so many based on.
Technically, Texas Chainsaw kind
Ed
of is
Gein.
with Ed
Yeah.
Gein, but
Ed Gein inspired Texas Chainsaw, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs.
Amityville Horror.
Amityville,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which there's a debate on that, whether or not
Whether that events happen.
and whether or not that was just the tactic that the defense attorneys came up with for Ronnie DeFeo.
I remember I saw a video like watching something like that was like the story behind like Scream, like what it was based off of.
Yeah, that's based off of some true crime, some actual stories.
And then I saw a thing recently where some guy actually killed some people wearing a Ghostface mask.
Oh,
Yeah, like
boy.
legit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I was
You
like,
sent that to me.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I love Scream so much.
Scream was the first scary movie I got to see in a movie theater.
It's like
Yeah.
I wish I got like, dude. I want to go. I would love to see like the first one in theater. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah. I think my poor dad. I made him. He took me like 6 times to
Yeah.
go see it. I was so enamored. I was so in love with it. I thought it was so innovative and creative and new and fun and different. And it's really cool that, you know, all these years later, I got to have Jamie Kennedy on the show. Who is just like the coolest dude. Like he's a good dude. I just had a great chat with him the other night. He's a great dude.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's really cool to be like, oh man, that was my movie, you know, and now you've done my show. That's crazy. You know, we had Pancho Moller from 31. If you remember him, he's the little person who plays that fucking psycho in 31.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart as well. It's cool. It's really Dana Gould does the show a lot, which is amazing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait to come to the show. That'll
Yeah,
be
I know.
really
I would
fun.
love to have you. I promise not to throw darts at you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff as much.
Yeah, you can do the show and not even like bleed.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Well, let's see what the topic of the show is.
Yeah.
Let's not say that yet.
Yeah.
Unless the theme is horror nerd, throw darts at Zach.
I probably wouldn't do that show.
What?
Like, yeah, I'm busy.
Oh, I'm out of town that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh my god.
How many of the comics that do the show, and I'm asking this because I know the answer, but I think it's funny anyway, tell their usual set, but with like a little horror tinge
Oh
in
my
it
god,
to
drives
make
me
it-
nuts.
Oh
Sometimes
my god.
they do it.
Yeah.
No, well, dating is scary. I'm like, I will murder you right now.
Well, I dated a couple of clowns.
I
That was
know.
my favorite
Yes,
one.
I've
That was
dated a
really
couple
good.
of clowns. It's like that is a stretch. That is a stretch. I mean, I've had my somewhat lazy moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I only wrote 4 new jokes, but I need more, so maybe I'll tie in something. and
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'll make it like a clever way. Like,
Yeah.
like I have this joke about how I went on a date and I showed up and he had a mohawk and a mullet. So yeah, which first of all, you get one. Like you have to pick.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
just added a little tag of like, that's like Freddy versus Jason. Like there's no clear winner. You know, like they don't play well and there's no clear winner.
That guy is losing, dude.
Yeah. That guy is losing.
Dude.
But
He woke up and just chose losing, dude.
basically. And the funny thing was so, but like we're there. I'm like, okay, I'll have coffee with this guy, whatever. And he kept trying to tell me that his dad was a big name actor.
Yeah.
And I kept not asking who it was, and I could tell
Yeah.
that was irritating him because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. But then he starts texting, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess something important. But then he kept texting, and finally he was like on his phone every 2 minutes. So I said, listen, I'm sorry, did something come up? Do you have to be somewhere? And I shit you not, he said, oh, sorry, it's just that, well, I work for a big celebrity musician, and I can't tell you who she is. I'll just say that she's the queen of ska.
Of ska?
Yes. I said, I'm sorry, am I
on.
getting
Okay.
The queen of
the
ska?
queen of ska?
Now, I'm a ska music listener.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the fuck
Really?
the queen of ska
Yeah,
is.
no, I'm very confused by that also, because Jeff and I talked about this a lot. Like, girls usually hate ska.
Yeah.
Like, they do, like, for the most part.
My partner hates ska so much.
Yeah, like,
Really?
any
Yeah.
girlfriend I've ever had is literally, like, if I try to play ska in the car, they will be like, turn that off. Like, we're getting a
not
divorce.
like it.
Like,
Getting a divorce. That's brutal. Oh my gosh. So then you just play Sell Out on a loop.
yeah, it's like,
With me tonight, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, Real
I
Big
love that.
Fish and
Yeah,
Say
Real Big
Ferris. I used to
Fish.
love Say Ferris.
So who is the queen of ska?
Well, according to him, it was Gwen Stefani.
okay, that's sort of, like,
No,
barely.
If this is the 90s, maybe, but not in now.
Yeah, she's gone in a different direction. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand like early, like even before Tragic Kingdom. What was with The Box, I think, was their first record? Or
Oh,
I don't know. Their first song?
Oh my god. I'm gonna look it
Yeah,
up
they
just
used to
about
be
it.
a little bit more ska. But so
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay. And then he was just texting her the whole time. I said, what? Okay. It was bizarre.
Beacon
it was
Street
bizarre.
Sessions.
Yeah.
That
is
was
it-
the one. The Beacon
Okay.
Street Collection. That was the ska one.
Yeah, okay. So, but I'm
That's
like, well,
funny.
that's a stretch. And then, he's like, well, I gotta go. I'm like, dude, you're talking. You realize she's about to get married. At this point, like, she was just about to get married. I said, why are you on a date with me? You're in love with her. Which I get it. She's Gwen Stefani, but dude, it's not a good look when you're on a date.
I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night tonight and be like, the Queen of Ska. Like, I'm really so mad about this. You have ruined my
Did you
night.
find out
I'm
who
so
his dad
sorry.
was?
No, I never asked.
God damn
never
it.
asked. I never saw the guy again.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have saw him either. Again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everyone would see that guy if he's walking around, but like they shouldn't.
Yeah, well, that's probably what it is. They look and then they look away real
Yeah,
quick.
like, oh god, not again.
Oh,
like
the
this
poor
guy.
Yeah. I also matched with this guy and I wound up going on a date with I think he was like the grandson of what's Leave It to Beaver, the guy who played Beaver. He was like the grandson of what's his name?
So my dad was the
Jerry
beef.
something? Yeah, his dad was like the Beeve, which is funny because here's a cool thing. My grandfather was also on a sitcom. He was on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I thought it was just really the most Los Angeles thing
Yeah.
ever that 2 grandchildren of old sitcom people wind up on a date at a
Yeah.
Starbucks. Like, it was just,
That's
Oh my
funny.
God.
yeah, I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to date this guy, but it didn't work.
Jerry Mathers?
Yeah.
The Beeve? Because that's who the Beeve was.
Or yeah, it was him or someone on the show. I think it was his grandson, maybe.
I honestly don't recognize any of these names from Leave It to Beaver, so
Yeah.
I'm of no help there.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
remember.
know.
Did they make a remake of Leave It to Beaver, like or a movie or something in the 90s,
They did Bewitched.
or like 90s or early 2000s or something?
1997 Leave It to Beaver movie.
Really?
And the
Yeah.
tagline was "The Beav is back."
Oh, boy.
I remember seeing. That's the only version of Leave It to Beaver that I've ever seen. And
Probably for the best.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
you
you know
remember Dennis the Menace?
Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna say that was the first. The
that's-
movie was the first time
Yeah.
I was exposed
I watched
to Dennis the
that.
Menace.
That is more of my shit.
That was
Like,
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't it Walter Matthau in
in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a legend, of course.
Yeah. So
Oh
it's
my
like sort of
gosh.
like a Dennis the Menace is almost like sort of like a Home Alone style. Like he's just being a menace to his
Yeah.
neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's his name? Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I did for the Houses of Hell. I did write a joke and I said, some of the most horrific events have actually happened in Chicago, like John Wayne Gacy, H.H. Holmes, Kevin McAllister.
Yeah.
If you go back
Yeah.
and watch that movie, there's all these articles about whether or not those two robbers would have actually survived. And the answer is
Oh
no.
yeah. They would have died like very early on.
They would have been, like, their face would have been crushed.
Yeah. Especially in the second one when they like dropped a brick on his head like
yeah.
off the building.
Yeah, no, you're done.
He's dead.
That's not a beauty mark. That's
Dude.
your skull is smashed.
You know what I didn't like? The remake of Home Alone that they did on Disney Plus.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I don't.
I didn't even know they did that.
They did a few, but I think they're technically all in the same universe. Like there's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of kids being left home alone in this universe and just like fighting
Yeah,
robbers.
I just don't. I don't like any of the, like after the second one. You know when the Home Alone 3 or whatever, that one where it's like a different kid, obviously.
yeah.
But like that's they should have just stopped after 2, and just not made anymore. Dude,
Yeah.
it's like the newest one. Like the kid has like an English accent. And like he just makes me like wish that they would beat the shit out of him.
You know a movie's bad when you're like, did you see the Pet Cemetery remake?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
my god,
actually.
I was rooting for the dead cat. I was like, I want the cat to kill you all. Like you're
Yeah.
all horrible. John Lithgow was good, but the rest of
Yeah.
the family was like, you're all so annoying.
Yeah.
I am so sorry to whoever made that movie.
Did you see the one after that, the prequel one with David Duchovny?
No, but I want to. Is that on Paramount Plus?
I
Or
believe
like
it's on Paramount
Bloodlines or
Plus.
something?
It's real
I
good.
wanted to see that.
It's
Okay,
good.
so I should.
Yeah.
I mean, if David Duchovny's in it, I'll give it a go.
David Duchovny is playing
Yeah.
the younger version of what's his name? The name you just said, I just blanked.
The John Lithgow
Yeah,
character.
John Lithgow. Yeah. He
Yeah.
is John Lithgow and how he learns about the Pet
Oh,
Cemetery.
see, I would watch that.
It's real good.
I would
Yeah.
totally watch that. Can I get your Paramount Plus password?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I don't care.
Okay,
It's fine.
yeah, you guys heard that. That
For
is
the
recorded.
viewers at home,
Yeah.
it's Jeff. Just kidding. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. We should just do that for the viewers, you know, just like make like a Paramount Plus account
So
for
they can all
everyone.
just log in.
Then we just get like a class action lawsuit against us or something for like letting everyone share.
Yeah, but can you imagine the publicity from that? That
Yeah,
might
no,
not
that
be
would
a
be
bad
great.
idea.
Paramount would just call me and be like, dude, what the
You're like, Zach, you know
Like
better.
you were in the family before this.
And you're like, that's why I thought it was cool.
That's what I
People
thought it
mooch
was
off their
fun.
family all the time.
Like,
Just kicking you
God.
out. Sorry, you're not going to get to meet Vin Diesel now because they're kicking you out of the family.
dude, well, I mean, he's doing like one more movie, dude. And then he's got like all that stuff going on too.
Yeah.
So like he's on his way out. So
he's
Wait,
not
am I
going
missing
I don't have
a
to
Vin
meet him.
Diesel story? What did he do?
no, I don't know. He's he's got some stuff that
something. We don't know
He
what it
did
is,
some-
but something.
He's some scandal. We don't know
yeah,
what it
he's
is
got some
yet.
sort of scandal. But he's
Oh.
still getting to do the they're letting him do one more Fast and the Furious movie, and then that's actually the last one.
Well, there's already like 700 of them,
Yeah.
right? Wow.
They're good though.
They're fun. It is. It's mindless entertainment.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's super silly. It got insanely more silly, like over like
When you run out of ideas,
Yeah,
or
it's
you have
just
to
like-
outdo yourself.
Where I'm just like, that literally couldn't happen at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. That's why I feel like with some of like the Saw movies, they just have to up the stakes and just make it more
Yeah.
and more insane. And and sometimes it's just like, okay, all right.
yeah.
Sure, Jan. You know,
Yeah, they made a new one, right? Like a new Saw.
They keep making new Saws.
Yeah.
They're never gonna stop.
They're never.
They
gonna
made a new
stop.
one, and like I can't fucking take like watching them. It's like fucking I can't do it, dude.
They're gross.
They're
Because
really
I
gross.
literally just can't even look at the screen. I'm paying to not to look at my hands.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
Yeah.
That said,
Yeah.
I don't know when this episode's going to air, but the musical that is currently running in LA at the Hudson Theater is
There's Saw the musical.
real good. Yeah.
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 Mm.
I think it's only
Really?
running for like another week or two.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Highly recommend if it
Is
comes to your
it
area.
like musical and cheesy and cheeky, or
Yeah,
is it?
it's funny. It's
okay.
a comedy. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I did one of the coolest things I did get to see was I got to see Misery on Broadway. And it was Laurie Metcalf, who, if you remember her from Roseanne, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. The woman's brilliant. She was playing Annie, and then her and Bruce Willis. And it was really cool because, you know, the iconic moment of that film where she brings out the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So he's in the bed, right? And the bed is like right at the edge of the stage. And we're all sitting there like looking at each other and gripping our seats like, how are they going to do this? Like you just see his feet hanging off the bed. And the director made this beautiful choice of having her come out with the sledgehammer and like slamming it on the floor and dragging it so that we could tell that's real. That is not a prop sledgehammer.
Yeah.
That is heavy. So the scene comes and all this, we're like, oh God. And she does it and she swings it and the feet just kind of go inward. They just snap inward.
Yeah.
And that's when we all realize, oh my God, they're prosthetic feet. That those weren't his feet. Like the lower half of his body was under the stage in a trapdoor.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it looked so real. It was so good. It was
That's
so good.
so gnarly.
Yeah, it was gross. It was good.
Oh man. So, what do you? What do you?
What are you doing later?
Well, so what's next for you?
Well, you know, I feel like we're figuring that part out right now. Here's what's next. We shot it as my next hour special.
Oh,
which is
hell
really
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So we're just literally this week starting to pitch it and try to sell it.
That's great.
So if there's any
Yeah.
streamers out there, Peacock, are you listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's hopefully the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think we really did. Like my friend Tom Dolby directed it. And I'd love to, I'm sure he's like, shut up, but I love bragging about this. His dad is Ray Dolby, who invented Dolby Sound, which is
that's
so
sick.
cool.
That's
It's
super
so
cool.
freaking
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
That's like just my friend Tom, which is wild. But so he directed it, and it was. I'm just so proud of it, and I'm hoping that someone picks it up.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. But so we're doing that, and we're coming back to Midsummer Scream this summer, which I'm very
Cool.
excited about. Which have you ever been to any of the horror
No, I
conventions?
haven't.
Oh, dude, they're so fun. It's
No, I'm gonna have
just
to do that.
thousands and thousands of people. And everyone comes in cosplay and full out. You're going to see a lot of really cool makeup. And it's
Hell yeah.
vendors and it's actors from the actual films, panels, shows.
That's
So
sick.
I'm really excited about that. That happens in July.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Zach doesn't know this. He already has a pass. We didn't talk about it yet, but he's good.
Oh, you're going.
Oh,
It
cool.
already happens.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured that Barry would be there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm super down for that. That'll be great.
Yeah. It's I can't believe you've never been like Monster Palooza or any of them.
No,
Oh,
never.
they're so fine. Monster Palooza is happening in May.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's you know, we all get to geek out and buy shit, and
Yeah,
you know
hell
what
yeah.
I mean. And I buy stuff that I don't need, which is the most fun thing to do.
Yeah.
It's the American way.
For a convention that I work at, I usually wind up spending more money than I make.
I know.
Yeah.
Because there's so much good stuff. Like one of my favorite things that I got, there's this one vendor who makes artwork out of like sheet metal, just like thick sheets of metal. And he just kind of custom designs it. So he made this Beetlejuice silhouette of just his head. And it says, "I'm the ghost with the most, babe." And then on the bottom, "Nice fucking model,"
Yeah.
which is my favorite line in the whole movie. Nice fucking model. Like I am
Oh,
obsessed with that movie, right? And we're all. Have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I'm actually stoked on it.
Yeah,
it looks good.
good.
It looks pretty good.
I mean, and I don't feel like they could have done it without Michael Keaton. There's just,
Oh, yeah.
we all would have like screamed, like it would have
Yeah.
been bad.
I mean, no, that's amazing. It's amazing. It looks really
It looks
good.
really
like I'm
good.
stoked on it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the first Tim Burton movie I'm looking forward to in like 20 years.
It's
Yeah,
the big
every
one,
once in a
yeah.
while, I'll literally Google like, what's Tim Burton up to?
Yeah.
And like, usually it's like not
Alice in
something.
Wonderland.
Usually it's not something that I
it
care
hasn't-
about.
Yeah.
And like, then I saw that by accident, and I was like,
I'm
Thank
back
God.
in.
Thank God.
You know.
Yeah, Beetlejuice and Batman Returns. Those are
Yeah.
my Tim Burton movies.
I just saw the OG Batman
Yeah.
at the Dolby Theater
Oh, really?
with the live orchestra
cool.
2 months ago.
Wow.
So sick.
Love it.
I got to see Psycho that way with the live orchestra. That was
That's
cool.
really cool.
And like an
Rad.
old theater downtown LA. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. I love Psycho. That's one of my favorites too.
Psycho's great.
Classic.
So I ask everyone that comes on the podcast this question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do every day to make sure you're reaching your maximum potential?
Oh my God.
I know,
That just
huge
got deep.
switch.
That just got deep. Well, I feel like if I'm not actually doing something to reach my highest potential, I'm at least berating myself for not reaching my highest potential. So I'm always pushing myself to
Yeah.
that. But that's a great question. And sometimes it's different every day. Like sometimes my highest potential is rest. Stop pushing your brain so hard so that you're more productive tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've really been trying to balance that because I never feel like I'm doing enough. You know?
No, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
Really.
which is kind of the artist's way. Like if you look at even these big, huge names, some of them have like, you know, a lot of personal issues in their life because like it's just you always want to keep going. It's never enough. But it's also like the culture that we're in. We're taught to hustle, hustle, go, go, go. If you're not achieving and doing and doing and doing, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to balance like, okay, well, I want to be motivated and continue to move forward, but also I need to be a human as well. And maybe I just want to watch a tree for a bit,
Yeah.
you know? That's
I
true
feel that.
though. Sometimes I just want to go smell a rose and just
Yeah.
be in a moment instead of worrying about, did you post on Instagram today? Did you write a new joke today? Yeah, I'm sure you guys know how that is.
Yeah,
right?
I know that
It's
too well.
exhausting.
Just felt that in my fucking soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that leads to creative burnout.
Yeah.
And
100%.
so, yeah, I'm definitely experiencing a bit of that. Because, you know, when you do something you love and your creative life turns into your professional life, sometimes you have to find a balance of.
Yeah. Like, I feel like everything's like about balance. Just
Yeah.
like, you have to have a good balance with everything. Otherwise, you're going to fucking hate doing whatever
You're just
you're
going
doing.
to stop. You're just going to crash.
Yeah, you're just not going to. Like, sometimes I just literally be like, oh, I need to go do something that has nothing to do with making something. Like, right now.
Yeah, I need to just go do something that has nothing to do with moving myself forward
Yeah.
business-wise or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Because that is kind of what we need to keep us recharged so that we're actually more productive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a hard balance.
Yeah.
There are days when I'm just like, I don't wanna.
No, I feel that.
You know, like
100%.
even so the last show that I did, I just had a really busy month and I thought, okay, I'll have enough set decor. I built enough of a good set. It's good. And then when I got there, I looked at him like, it's not enough. And like, I had a total meltdown. I said to the other comments, like, you guys, hold down the fort. I ran to like Home Goods and Target and bought some things and this. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I tried to take it easy on myself and then I wound up just creating more work for myself. So, yeah.
I feel that though.
Yeah, I feel like we all do. That's a cycle that artists get into of
Yeah.
go, go, go. Oh god, I'm tired. Go, go, go.
I'm always tired.
It's true.
So do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, actually our next Horror Nerd is June 21st at the Hollywood Improv. We're usually the third Friday of the month.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's a party. It's always so much fun. So please come out to that. Also, we are on Instagram at Horror Nerd Comedy or me at the Samantha Hale. I'm always posting something horror related there. And it's horror. There's no W in front of it. Just gonna put that out there. It's just horror. Horror nerd.
As someone who has done the show, I will say it is so much fun to do it and also watch the show. Like, the
Yeah.
comedians are so funny. I think that like I was on it and I saw it once, and everybody's amazing. Like you never know what's going to happen on stage. Highly recommend.
I never know
Highly
half the
recommend.
time. Yeah. I also do this thing where in between comics, like I'll put a bunch of names of characters in a bucket and I just make them riff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like to throw in weird ones in there just to throw people off. Like instead of putting Carrie, I'll put Carrie's period. You know, just to see what the comics are like. Oh God, why? Yeah, I love it.
I love that.
I know.
It's like, yeah, Freddy Krueger. Like, what's that guy all about?
Right? What's the deal with Jason
Dude,
Voorhees?
Like, cut your nails. Dude. Like, God.
Use some lotion.
Zach gets it. He's gonna be amazing.
Like, cut your fucking nails, dude. Good God.
Good God. Good God, man.
But thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank
This
you
has
for
been
having
really fun.
me. Yeah.
Can't wait to do the Horror Nerd Show. It's going to be sick.
Oh, I'm going to get you on.
Yeah, no, I'm super down.
Yeah.
But yeah, but thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been really fun. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for watching, and stay maximum.